And welcome to the Cynic Weekly. It is Thursday. It's the 2nd of April 2026. I am your host, Christopher Gallagher, and we are getting prepared for the return of Glasgow Celtic after the international break.
And the return of Jesus Christ.
And of course, yep, the return of Jesus Christ.
Technically, first up, he has to get whacked, so let's not celebrate just yet.
Okay. Is that okay, Barry?
Yes, well, I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. Play on, here we go.
Bloody Romans.
Sopranos, Romans. Lend me your ears. I don't know. Barry Gallagher. Hello, Barry. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Finished up today for a couple of weeks off. So in holiday mode and looking forward to getting our teeth into all things Celtic tonight.
Great stuff. Stuart Diggin. Stewpot, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Can't wait to talk about Celtic again. Really missed it. But you've promised me fun and games, so that's why I came and fulfilled my contractual obligation.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun. Saw you the other day.
Yeah.
We're going for lunch. How was your lunch?
Really expensive. Really expensive. No, I'm not saying that as a flex. I'm saying that really begrudgingly.
Was it 30 pieces of silver?
There we go.
Easy now.
Yeah, we love it.
No, I was out with my friend and my lovely goddaughter,
Yes.
and it was nice to see you.
Lovely to see your friend and your lovely goddaughter as well.
Yeah.
Nice area as well. We were on the south side. Myself and Claire had some lovely lunch. Boud's here as well. Hi, Boud.
Hi, Gall. How you doing?
Not bad. How are you?
I'm alright, aye.
Need a wee bit more, I'll be honest.
Aye, sorry. Aye. No, I've not been. I've been very sad about Celtic and losing a lot of time to Crimson Desert, which is a janky game.
Hello and welcome. Is that like, what's a janky game?
Oh, I say janky just because the controls are a bit janky.
Is
They're
it-
not that bad. They're basically not from
Is it tank
software
controls?
I don't know what you mean by tank controls. It's an
Can we
open
just
world
clarify, do you control the British Army? That's what I tell.
game. Well, I am the British Army.
Jesus.
And I'm here to take your land. So,
Of course. That sounds like the start of a Wolfstone song. I am the British Army. Great to have you all here, of course. Last week we had Martin discussing all the kind of details of what's happening with the Green Brigade. That was a really good insight, so thanks to Martin for giving us that insight. This week we've been doing lots of different podcasts on the cynic.co. So this is the Cynic Weekly. If you're listening for the first time, we have a full Celtic subscription service. We have about 33 podcasts per month, looking at tactics, stats, reactions to every game. We also have news shows. You can check out The Cynic at thecynic.co, thecynic.co. You can also check out The Cynic on Patreon. If you search for The Cynic on Patreon, you'll get all the details. If you just want a quick nose about it, you can send us an email, editor at thecynic.co, and I can talk you through it. Celtic content, been doing it since 2011, so yeah, we kind of know what we're doing. Right,
ran out of stuff to say, really.
that's why we're doing.
Subscribing.
That's why we're doing all the games at this point. But so we've got some games that we're going to do because we want to kind of have a bit of fun. But we also, Celtic are returning.
Just when the people hear what one of the games is, wow.
Wow.
See how fun it is then?
It could be fun, no?
It could be. I'm imagining, though, a sort of take me out scenario where all the listeners just sign off in their droves. And
We do have...
hello, I'm a close-up magician. Sorry to any close-up magicians that are listening.
I don't really... Is that the one with the lights going out first? Yeah.
If you don't find that sort of thing attractive.
Right.
Some people might like that.
Close-up magicians. Boud looks like a magician, doesn't he?
No.
Don't know.
It's just an insult.
Wow.
Yep.
I wish I was a magician. That's where I am on the pecking order.
I feel like the unlikely has happened and I actually want to talk about sex.
Okay,
It's a
so
good move.
we got a little bit of news. We got an opening question. We got a little bit of news. Nothing too overly exciting, really, but we'll talk about that. A couple of features. By the way, see the features that are on the rundown? They are not the games.
Oh, okay. Well, sign me up then. But
We've
wait till
got-
people hear the features. Fuck me.
Yeah, aye. So we get one feature. Well, if you don't want to do it, it's fine. I went to a lot.
I want to do it.
Okay,
He was about to say I went to a lot of effort. I do not want. I want the effort wasted.
fuck up. How dare you?
Can't wait for the squad contract one that's been promised.
That's the one I'm
Yes,
interested
that's
in.
the one he wants. Right, okay, so opening question. And we also, do you know what? We get the opening question also correlates with a question we got from Lyle. Lyle sent a question today, but I'll read mine first, and then we can add Lyle's in. So the opening question, essentially, where does Celtic's title chances currently sit for you if you had to rank them out of 100? Chris Boud, let's start with you.
Out of 100, it's... unfortunately, I'd say it's only about... I'm probably being optimistic. 25 out of 100 is the chance. It's no really to do... We can forget about Hearts and we can forget about Rangers. It's really about Celtic. And I do not have confidence that we will win every single game that we have to play.
Do you think...
My heart of hearts.
Callum McGregor said 5 out of 7 he thinks will take us to the title. Do you think that would be enough?
That, to me, is overly optimistic. I do kind of feel like when we get to the split, Hearts Arse will fall out of it a little bit. But to that degree, that just seems extreme.
25% is quite low. I mean, it's probably realistic.
We've put ourselves in a position where we need a lot. Like if you're talking about us dropping potentially 6 points and still winning this when we're 5 points below Hearts.
Yeah, and the game's
expecting them to lose 11 points. And goal difference, well, I suppose if we lose and win that many points, goal difference might change. But no, we're not in a great position. So, sorry, Callum, I think Celtic really, maybe you could get away with dropping points in one game if we're lucky, but really we need to be winning every game that we're playing in the league now.
25%. Barry?
I'll go 30%.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I think Boud makes real good points there. I think we're kind of really living in hope that Hearts' bottle will go even more so than it has in recent times. But you could have a scenario where Celtic are perfect and still not win it.
Yeah,
which is terrifying. And I think it's highly unlikely that we are going to be perfect. I just have no confidence in this team. I think that the run that we put together from the sort of Stuttgart game onwards, going to Ibrox twice and stuff, and the Motherwell game, but that Dundee United game just kind of knocked the stuffing out of me. It just felt like we were kind of played all day and not scored. I don't see how we create chances, and I don't think we have really anyone to take them apart from Nygren, who's kind of had a loss of form at the wrong time, I would say. So yeah, it's obviously, it always goes without saying that I'd love to be proved wrong, but we are still in there, I suppose. And if we were to win this weekend, I think we would give ourselves a really good chance of going into the split. But it's just, I feel like this season has kind of worn us down with the lack of quality in the squad. And how many times do we say this is going to be the sort of catalyst?
Yeah.
And it never really proves to be. But we are still in there, and the gap isn't that big. I know Hearts have been really consistent, and Rangers have kind of put together some form, considering where they were at the start of the season. But I just don't have faith in this Celtic team, sadly.
Feels like we're running out of games, Stu. What's your 25% Boud, 30% Barry, yourself?
I think I was probably going to say about 25% as well, but just purely, Barry will like this from a maths perspective. If it's a coin toss, which it can't be between three teams, again, maths. But if you're saying any one of the three teams could win, that already puts you at 33% chance.
Okay, Scott Steiner, calm down.
And then the fact that Celtic, I think, are comfortably the worst of those three teams, and they are not good teams. And I think so obviously we went here last week, the week before, before the Dundee United game, I said that I felt like maybe I was actually starting to really like the Celtic team. I said I liked them, but I didn't trust them. And after watching that Dundee United game, I can't even enjoy them at the moment either. Like there's just nothing about them. There's no patterns of play. They don't even really have that dig, or rather, they can only really turn that dig on in like weird certain situations. There's like something really masochistic about them that they have to really, have themselves in a vice before they can start to rouse themselves into action. And that's,
what have you been watching recently?
Double entendre your way through that. There's just something that there is, as you say, we're still in it, and we have a puncher's chance in the respect that somehow I feel like when the chips are like really, really down, they might just have to do it and therefore will do it. I think that the fact that we have probably better fixtures on paper than the rest, just with regards to having home games for the most difficult teams. But I've got no faith that Celtic are going to win on Sunday, let alone getting into the split and getting into the steep end of that. I think this weekend you're going to probably have to accept that Rangers are going to go top of the league, at least for 24 hours on Saturday, and everything that comes with that. And I think that Celtic are at a point where we're still in it, but we really, really are now probably one defeat away from being too far away mathematically. And the fact that we now have, I think, quite considerably insignificant goal difference. We're talking about maybe 6, 7 goals, 8 goals, and just nobody looking like they're going to catch light and produce for us. The last 10 days or whatever the international break's been has been quite pleasant, because I just almost like pretended the season was done. So, oh, that's good. That'll be nice.
Can I throw in a wee question? If you were offered it was to go to the last day right now, would you take it?
Oh, 100%. What does that look like, though? I know I'm asking you.
You're 3 points behind and 12 goals behind.
And I'll be playing one of the...
Yeah.
2 points behind and you're playing Hearts at Celtic Park. I know it probably won't shake out like that, but...
Yeah, I'd take that, 100%.
Yeah.
It's a cup final.
What about level? All 3 teams are level, but we need to go Easter Road.
I've seen us lose the league Easter Road before. Remember, was it under Strachan where we just couldn't score?
It wasn't official, but that was the second last game, and we couldn't score against them. Then we drew with Hearts at home.
That's right.
I'd still take that, but I don't want to be in this bleak scenario where you're like comfortably out it and going to just finish third, and you have to accept everything that comes with that, and maybe getting scudded as the. But
see, on the flip, obviously we've never won that. But on the flip side, that might sort of speed things up for next year.
For change, I mean, the thing is, if you. The idea that the last 2 or 3 games could be dead rubbers, Boud, is kind of unthinkable.
It's pretty shocking, and it's an indictment of how the club's been ran, from a position of strength to a position of mediocrity. But we've known the people at the top of the club have been incompetent and have been for a number of years. So, it's disgusting, but it's not massively shocking.
See the Dundee United game? I know we're not really going to...
No, you can. I was going to bring it up, actually.
Well, that is like one of the worst performances I've seen from a Celtic team in years, but I think that would sit side by side with at least 5 or 6 performances this year where you've seen standards close to that. And I think if... Normally at this time of the season, you're thinking back, like, what were the highlights of the year and best... I honestly... If you could find me 5 really good performances from a Celtic team, I'd be very, very surprised. Whereas I think the list of like some of the worst performances you've ever seen from a Celtic team are all there side by side.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, you know, it's pure cliched, but you know, the league tables doesn't lie and you get what you deserve. And how could you watch that Celtic team at Tannadice and be like, they are the champions, they are the best team in the league? There's nothing about them that deserves to win the title, which is really sad. And unless they can really turn it round in these last 7 games and really show a bit of something, then I think they will get what they deserve, which is probably nothing.
Celtic's last 2 games before the split: Dundee at home on Sunday, then we've got Dundee away on Sunday, then we've got St Mirren at home next Saturday, the 11th of April. Hearts are away to Livingston, fighting for their lives and all that stuff. Then they've got Motherwell at home, just as Motherwell kind of their form drops off a little bit. Rangers have got Dundee United on Saturday, and then they've got Falkirk away next Sunday. Then the split happens, and we don't know how that's going to shake out in terms of where the fixtures will be. But Barry, is there any fixture you'd like to get over with straight away, or is there any fixture you'd like to have towards the end of the season?
I think it probably will shake out this way, but I think one of the big ones, Hearts or Rangers at home.
Do you think they'll do Rangers at home? I feel like they'll do Rangers at home, maybe the first or second.
One. Yeah, I think either or. I think potentially could have both kind of back to back. I don't know how the fixtures work out. I know it's maybe a weekend and then it's usually the second game of the split is midweek or something like that, I think, or the second last. But I would like one of those games because I think it would tell you more about what's going to happen. Like, if we were to win one of those games, we obviously close the sort of deficit on one of the teams above us. And then that gives us an idea of what we're looking at going into the remaining 4 games. So if I could choose that, it would be one of those. I suppose the argument could be that you take one of the lesser teams, the other 2 teams that aren't in the title race, and get points on the board. But like Stu says, I have no confidence that there is any gimmies, particularly when you're playing the other top 5 teams. So yeah, I think a sort of statement win against Hearts or Rangers would set us up nicely. But again, that could be sort of immaterial if we don't perform in these next 2 games before we get there.
Absolutely. We also have St Mirren the week after the league game in the Scottish Cup semi-final as well. Just some quotes from Martin O'Neill. He did an interview with Celtic TV, and it was behind a paywall. It's just, there are so many easy wins for Celtic just to put out something like that on YouTube for everyone to see. But anyway, he says, just a couple of quotes: "We don't have any room for manoeuvring, and that gives you even less in that sense. But we're far from out of it. There's a massive game on Sunday, really big game that essentially we've got to win now. That won't be easy. Dundee are a strong outfit, we just have to be as strong as they are. We've got 3 home games and 2 away, all big matches against the big sides, so we've still got it all to play for in that series." He's not right. Everything he's saying there is correct, but it's just really grim, Boud, the fact that we're looking at a Dundee game at the kind of business end of the season, and all 4 of us sitting here, if he was to say what are the percentage chances of winning that game, wouldn't be 95%.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking. And I think that leads to a lack of confidence in taking the title, which is rightfully ours. No other team in Scotland ever deserves to win it. It should be Celtics every single season.
Yeah. I think it's good for Scottish football, do you? I don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of if we do win the league, it's also terrible for Scottish football. And if that's your champions, my God,
yeah,
maybe the English were right all along. Scottish football is disappointing. But I know it's
big fan of the English, Boud, are you?
Huge fan. I think rightfully we
okay. There we go. Let's move on.
Dundee. Good luck to them.
Sort of analysis that we've got at this point. There was Austin Trusty was an injury concern after he limped. I don't know if he limped off. It was forced off late in the USA friendly against Portugal, but he came out on Twitter and was like, "It's fine, don't worry about it."
Replied to a Celtic fan, which I thought was nice.
Yeah,
at least someone's communicating with us.
Exactly. Young Holm, HOLM, midfielder, Norwegian. He signed for Vålerenga until November, December on loan. So let's see him the bell.
Do you think Austin Trusty's going to be in that Amazon series about the USMNT?
Oh, do they have? Is there one? I didn't realise.
A big behind the scenes coming out before the World Cup.
Good.
Mutant Ninja Turtles are back.
That's the United States
men's national team.
And you can send your apologies to Eddie Walsh.
Yeah.
Whenever
really offensive. Eddie Walsh, big USA fan. Absolutely huge. Biggest you've ever seen.
Yep. Massive.
In terms of injuries, obviously, again, because we recorded last week with Martin from the Green Brigade, we've not really touched on anything. But AJ, Alistair Johnson, mentioned his injury. Here's some quotes. "In an ideal world, I would like to be back in time for the split, and I think that's a realistic target. But at the same time, none of us are writing anything in stone. But if I need an extra week, then I'll take an extra week. I don't have an exact date. I have tried to do that in the past, and you almost set false expectations for yourself. We'll all take it week by week. My fitness is coming along. It was difficult for me when I re-injured it from a medical and mental standpoint. I'm happy with how it's coming along." He speaks really, really well about Celtic, about living in Glasgow. I really enjoyed kind of the wee snippets you've seen on Twitter and stuff. But him saying, "I would like to be back in time for the split." So let's say he is back for early split games. I know there's only 5, but it means that he's more than likely missing Dundee and St Mirren.
And the
semi-final. Young Donovan pulled out the Scotland squad after pulling up at the Dundee United game. Rio Hatate played at fullback. No, I'm guessing they played Rio Hatate at fullback in that game to protect Anthony Ralston.
To be fair, I think O'Neill said afterwards that to take a leaf out of Neil Lennon's book, I think it was to try and have as many technicians because we were behind. It's not great.
That's not. I would have preferred.
See, just on AJ, I don't know if you saw, there was a picture of him today with a ball.
Yeah, he was training with.
So he's at least got the ball out again.
Also, the scope. You would imagine that he's not going to go straight into playing 90 minutes, but you might be able to get him some time in that cup game, perhaps. So you've got an extra week there.
Just the concern would be that obviously you've got Anthony Ralston, who he will give us all. He's a very limited footballer, but he knows his position. He knows how to play that full-back position. Anything happens to him, then you're not playing with anybody recognised unless they bring someone up from the B squad. Doesn't seem likely. Callum Osman, Martin O'Neill said Callum is doing really well. He's anxious to go, and I think he's been working exceptionally well. So hopefully that won't be too far away. I don't know what that means. I don't know
if Callum Osman comes in and literally delivers the league, just catches fire. Wins the last 4 things, loads of goals. But I think how funny that would be, considering Brendan Rodgers gave him 0 minutes.
No.
I've
said it before and I'll say it again. I thought he was absolutely dynamic and exciting in that Rangers semi-final. He completely changed that game for me, and I think that Brendan Rodgers. Just to kind of get all the other kind of updates. Araujo. Do you think we'll see Araujo again, Barry? It looks like he's out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Kind of running out of time, aren't you? I was looking ahead. You could potentially, if we get there, depends on the Scottish Cup final, but even that would be a push as well. So it just kind of sums up this season, doesn't it? We've finally found like a sort of cult hero out of nowhere, really, from the Nancy era. We fall in love with him. He obviously has his kind of he has the Kilmarnock moments going in the last minute. The kind of stuff at
enjoys a wee swally.
Yep, swinging from the rafters and Wonderbar. And yeah, I just thought he gave us a sort of shining light in a season of shite, essentially. But and then even he gets taken away from us. So yes, but it would be nice if we could see him one more time and kind of get him to say goodbye to the fans, because I don't imagine we would push the button on that, unfortunately.
No, Boud, do you think the longer it goes, the less likely he is to come back in terms of the club bringing him back? If Alistair Johnson gets back fit and you've got Donovan fit again and Ralston's fit,
his club see any value in sending him up to Scotland for 1 game or 2 games?
Yeah. Do you think? What do you think will happen there?
I think it becomes less likely the longer it goes, and again, I would love us to just take the shot with him and sign him permanently. But
would you pay 8 to 10 million for him? I know I'm putting you on the spot, and that's.
I mean, obviously
that might be a lot of our budget next season, the way this club is run.
Well, it shouldn't be.
I know,
but I would happily pay that for him, assuming this injury isn't obviously destroying him. But
would you pay it?
No, not that much money. No. I think you would probably want to get Araujo in some sort of like loan with an obligation to buy and try and get him around 5-6. But I think that's unlikely.
If Alistair Johnson, if you could do a deal where Alistair Johnson goes for 8 million, you bring Araujo in for 8 million, would you do that?
I don't know, because I think you're then it's a difficult one, because we keep talking about how you want to have competition in places. Obviously, you want to have players that if someone's not fit, then you're comfortable with them playing, say, a Champions League caliber game. You also want pathways for young players. So do you want Donovan to go somewhere on loan, get a season under his belt? It's a difficult thing. You have essentially 2 proper first team players. It's the same with everyone that's clamouring for Andy Robertson to come to Celtic. How do you manage that with Tierney? It's just very difficult, and there's just nothing in the makeup of the club that suggests they'd be willing to do that for a position like that. I think a lot of it will depend on the World Cup. You would probably say that in terms of time served, Alistair Johnson would have been due to leave this window if he'd played this season, but he's barely kicked the ball this season, so does that give you extra time? Who knows? But I think given that Celtic's net spend, I mean, it's been fucking 0 the last whatever, but I think with the volume of players that you need, there's just no way that they're going to spend 8 to 10 million pounds on a player that might not be first choice.
Also, Barry, if a new manager comes in, and at this point there's no indication there's going to be any structural changes. I know there's been rumours and stuff, but there's been no kind of firm indication. If a new manager comes in and they've got a pot of money, and are the club going to say, oh, we're buying him and it's going to cost a quarter of your your budget. If it was me, I'd be like, well, I don't even know who he is. So.
Yeah, it seems unlikely, and I think we've had the conversation before that Celtic tend to put sort of premiums on positions, and fullback doesn't seem to be one that they tend to spend a lot of money on. Don't know why. As you could argue, it's in modern football, it's one of the most important positions.
We get money for them, Frimpong, Tierney, but we can't connect that with us paying money for a good fullback.
Yeah, and you can see how managers in the recent history have really valued the contributions that fullbacks make. And that, to answer the question you asked, you, if it was a kind of straight swap, 8 million, and then just kind of change hands for Araujo, I would do that. The old Mark Viduka out, Chris Sutton in.
Yeah.
But it seems unlikely, and I think it's only fair that a new manager gets to kind of cast his eye over. And I personally, like yourself, I wouldn't want someone dictating to me that there's a large chunk of your budget going on a player who you might not know who it is. So yeah, I think it seems unlikely, but it would have been nice to have had him for these games to kind of maybe reinforce the issue. Because if he played these next 7 games, we win a double or whatever, it probably would have said, right, we need to push the button and get him regardless, but it looks unlikely now.
I would say, and again, I don't think it would happen anyway, but you'd hope a new manager coming in would have maybe watched a wee bit of Celtic over the last season and might have an idea of who he is.
Steve Clark's got the World Cup to worry on. Come on.
That's true.
If he's watching us just now, they're not going to take the job. Candidates.
I hope they haven't watched it.
I think there's probably a little bit more value in Alistair Johnston than £8 million when you consider that he was in what's the tournament that they have in the Americas?
Gold Cup, that one?
When the Euros
CONCACAF, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he was in like the team of the tournament in that, and if he has a good World Cup, I think he's the sort of player that you could sell for like 14-15 million pounds potentially. But the numbers don't really matter when they're not going to spend the money.
Remember there was talk last year that Inter Milan were kind of had him on their radar and stuff.
I think of all the players that we've brought in this season on these sorts of deals, I think the only 2 that they'll probably look to try and get anything out of next season will be Oxlade-Chamberlain, and I think there's a really smart bit of business would be to get Benjamin Arthur on a season-long loan, just because he's not going to go straight into playing at the Premiership. He's going to go out on loan somewhere, and you might as well get him up here. And that's like, even whatever's going to happen with the centre halves, whatever's going to happen with Carter Vickers, if Trusty's going to move on, you're still going to need someone in that 3rd or 4th spot, and he looks like he's a player that's developing. Understand the argument, like, why should we develop someone else's player? It's like, well, because we need to recruit, like, what was McGowan saying? 18 players. 18 out 12 in. And that might be an easy deal to do. And I think that if there are easy deals to do, they should do them and then see where you get. But
I'm okay with if you've got, see if you can do a deal with a loan player where you have him for 18 months, and that's what this would be. I'm okay with him playing over Murray as an example. It's when you've got someone on a really short-term loan, and so I can understand the argument for and against it.
I just think I know that he's not been amazing. He's had his moments, but you're talking about his very first games in professional football, and maybe Frimpong hit the ground maybe a bit quicker, but you had a player like him where once he got up to speed, you're like, right, this guy's clearly
different position as well, I think.
Yeah, but he's clearly set up for like a different level, and it reminds me a bit of like the Jason Denier deal, where you get this young centre half who's going to go on to much higher standard in the game, and if you can get him, then great.
It's a free agent.
Yeah, bring him back, bring him home.
Yeah.
Out of contract players, we have.
Do you know who you sounded like? Sean Maloney in the last week of the window.
Contract players. So I just want to get your kind of thoughts on this, right? So out of contract players that we have coming up.
Is this the contract bit?
This is the contract bit.
We're
finally here.
6 weeks in.
So out of contract players, and I just want to get your thoughts on whether you would keep them or whether you wouldn't, right? So
we doing quickfire?
Yeah, aye, sure. Like Kasper Schmeichel.
Absolutely not.
No from Stuart.
Not at all.
We'll do because there's 3 years, we'll do the majority rules.
Still no official correspondence from the club about that situation.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I've unfollowed him on Instagram. So there you go. That will show him.
Just you wait till he gets to this World Cup.
You're a no.
No, yeah.
Okay, so that would be a no, right? Kelechi and Acho, Boud. Would you offer him a new deal?
No, but the reason I'm hesitating there is I have no trust in what's going to happen in this window, and he might end up being better than any loanee striker that we bring in. But no.
Stuart?
No, I think that can't be the height of your ambition.
Absolutely not.
Okay, Colby Donovan's out of contract. Would you offer him a new deal, Stu?
Yes.
Boud?
Especially for him, yes.
Yes, there's too many broken hearts in the world. So, yeah.
Okay, good. That's a one.
Neighbours.
Okay, here's one. Summer Bay. Yeah. Here's one. James Forrest is out of contract. Would you offer James Forrest a contract?
No.
Okay.
I think it's time to say goodbye. And I think even a couple of months ago he spoke about it, and sort of for the first time ever he was kind of thinking about his future in the game, and he kind of spoke about coaching. So I think his contribution has got less and less. And no, I don't think I would at all, no.
Jim Bag?
Winger coach. That's a made-up role.
No, I think Dice Maida was talking about Damien Duff. I mean, he's just a coach. It's just a coach.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
No. Thank you, though. Absolute legend.
The romantic in me says yes, just because I quite like the idea of James Forrest being a one-club man, and I feel like he's not quite going to retire, and I think it'd be sad to watch him play for, like...
Ayr United.
James Forrest has played, has been involved in, I think, about 32 games this season.
I know.
And he's played more minutes than 8 of our signings this season.
He's also... He hasn't... I mean... I really, one of my favourite records in world football is James Forrest's consecutive seasons goal scoring. So if there was some way that you could just get him in for that to score a wee goal and then fuck off, that'd be fine.
Oxlade-Chamberlain, Stuart?
I probably would take him just because I don't think that this move has gone well enough that he's rehabilitated himself to go to a quote unquote bigger club or like play at a higher level than Scottish football. And I think it was Benjamin Arthur that was saying the two people that he talks to most for advice and experience are McGregor and him.
Yeah,
and I think having a player of his qualities, I know he's not exactly let the heather alight, but he has had moments of quality, and is just incredibly experienced, that if you can get him for another season, perhaps if you're going to lose a player like Forrest, having someone with his experiences would be good to have around the place for our standards.
Okay, so that's a yes, Barry?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I think there has been glimpses that he's still got a bit of magic, but I feel like we need a hard reset in the summer, and kind of similar to, I know it didn't really shake out with this, but after the sort of COVID season, I was very much of the opinion that anyone that had that stink on them should have gone. I know it doesn't always work out with that because you can't completely overhaul a squad and have no one left, but I think, and maybe this is just being harsh on the Dundee United game, but the way he was kind of moving around the park that day at Tannadice kind of made me think Aaron Ramsey vibes. So I think on the flip side, I think he probably will have another moment this season. I know he had the Livingston game, and it might be crucial, but no, I think I would move him on.
Interesting, Boud, you've got to kind of cast and vote on this one. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
I see both points. I would probably go yes, but I've not seen enough from him, so that's dependent on the rest of the games that we've got.
I'm looking for a yes. Yes.
It's a yes.
Okay, that's
yes
fine.
With an asterisk.
Okay. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Oxlade-Chamberlain could be crucial.
I don't think I've said keep anyone, have I? Oh no, Donovan.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go to the loans, right? So Marcello Sirachi.
Yeah.
Oh, very quick.
I think if you could, I think he's a perfect profile of a player that can rotate with Kieran Tierney, because I think he offers you energy, so he can also change a game with a slightly different approach. I know he's had his injury issues, but if you could get that deal done, I would.
Right?
100% agree with Stu. And I think if we did have him and we kept them fit, I think we'd see a lot more of them as well. So, aye, 100% behind that.
Yep, full house. I think he's been really impressive when he's played. There's something really likeable about him as well. And like Stu said, I think probably at this stage in his career he would be happy. I think he probably sees the quality that Tierney provides. So, and the way that the nature of Kieran Tierney at this stage in his career, there is going to be lots of opportunity. So I think that would be a really strong sort of starting base for competition going into next season.
Great stuff. Next one, we kind of talked about him briefly. Arajo, Boud.
Yep, all for it. Sign him up.
Yes.
If they could, yeah, but I think it'll be a difficult deal to do.
Fair enough. Thomas Schwanscherer.
No, I think we've said before on here, we like the idea of him. Obviously loved his penalty at Ibrox and his message on his phone in Wonderbar. But no, he's not. For the reported fee of like 7 million, I wouldn't be paying. If the deal was there to be done for 3 million, I wouldn't pay that either. So no, he's not got the quality that we need for a starting centre forward.
Yeah, not for me, no.
Boud.
Yeah, I agree with that, although a little bit like any actual, if we are having to bring in free strikers, I have no confidence that we will actually bring in free strikers of higher quality than him, but I think we need better.
Benjamin Arthur, Stu, you're...
Yeah, if you could get that on. I don't think they'll be able to sign him because I think he'll probably be on some insane, you can sign him right now for 20 million thing, but and that's not that he's a 20 million pound player, that's more of a reflection on the English league, but yes, if you could loan him, I would.
Barry?
This one's more difficult for me. I do see the quality there. He has lots of good attributes, but again, I'm kind of leaning towards that clear the decks type mode, and I know that what Stuart's saying, you can't have to build a whole new squad, but I probably would say no at this point.
Boud?
I'm a yes. I think he's looked great. Again, we just haven't seen very much of him, so that could all change, but I don't, for me, he doesn't reek of the same stink as
true.
A lot of this squad.
I think the other issue is that if, for example, Benjamin Arthur is now the devil you know, because if you didn't get Benjamin Arthur on loan, for example, I think that Celtic would look to plug gaps at centre half with a mystery box version of him, whether that's a Simpson Pusey type character, and then
could be lower quality as well.
Well, that's it. And I think that Arthur's ceiling is much, much higher than what we're seeing just now, and I think everyone's been quite pleasantly surprised by what they've seen so far. So I think there's a lot of upside to it, but
I'm going to package these boys up together. Joe Mvuka and Big Adamu, Boud.
It's a no from me. I was going to say, is that horse and Adamu? But no, it's not. Just package them up. They're both
shite.
Yeah, absolutely shocking.
I don't like saying that, but
can you imagine we paid 4 million or 5 million for Mvuka? That would have been horrendous. But no, I don't see this likely. I feel I could do better for Celtic, and I am an unfit. And even when I was a young fit man, I wasn't particularly good at football. So, terrible.
Stu?
No.
Sorry.
Get the fuck out, is what I'd say to them.
Okay, the next section's out in the cold. It's players who I think probably won't, but just I'd like to get your perspective. So we can maybe do these a little bit more quick fire.
Okay.
Stephen Welsh. Barry?
No.
Boud?
Nah.
I think the only chance he has a future at Celtic is if Askew becomes the Celtic manager.
Louis Palmer, Boud? He scored at the
Scored
weekend.
a screamer apparently through the week, but
It's a really good finish.
When he started with us, is the comeback on? I think you roll the die.
The die?
The die, just one single die. You roll it.
1 gillion% no.
Comes up Louis Palmer.
So, yes, Stu's interrupting you to say no.
Fuck no.
Fuck no.
Why not? Let's see what he's got.
Do you ever used to play like
Yeah.
champ manager and you would just get fed up with a season? You think, right, I'm going to try and get rid of everyone.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this squad.
I'd like to change my answer to no on Louis Palmer.
Okay, Paulo Bernardo.
No, move him on.
Again, just on the amount of change that we need, I'd probably keep him. I don't think there's a lot of he should have taken chances. I don't think he's been given the chances. I don't think he's been given a run of games. I don't think we genuinely know what player Bernardo is, whether he can make it or not. I think
I think that's
he's a victim of pretty poor management, if we're honest.
I think that's fair, but he's only played 226 league minutes all season.
Yeah, and he should have played more.
Barry?
Nah, move him on.
Guilty. Shut up, Barry. Yeah. Balakwisha, come on.
Aye, speak for all of us.
Yeah.
Go.
Wrap it up.
Mike Nawrocki.
Go.
Could be our best centre back. Who knows?
Who
knows?
Be decisive, Boud, get them all.
Johnny Kenny, Boud.
No.
Okay. Odin Holm, Barry.
No.
I'm just asking you anyway. Shin Yamada, I'll give you all a no and a Mura. Okay, so that no one from the out in the cold section. The final section I've put is must go for their own benefit. Daisen Maeda.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Must stay for all our benefit. So only hope, if we win this league and this cup this season, it'll be because of Daisen Maeda.
I'm not sure it will. He's been rubbish.
And Osmond.
He's not scored since the 10th of January, I
Yeah,
believe.
he's been pretty terrible. But still,
Rio Hitati must go for his own benefit.
Yeah, go.
Boud.
probably, but I'd still want to keep him because I love him.
He's got a big
He's
mouth.
a
He's got a big fucking mouth.
Boud's a hoarder.
He is. You've been in his house. So what that gives us is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 17, 18, 19. It gives us a squad of 22, right? With the new manager. There's obviously other players there, right? So we have players like Yang who might be moved on and stuff. But I'll just read out the squad that the new manager, if our recommendations were
come to pass.
Sinisalo and Doohan. Your right backs, 4 right backs, AJ, Arajo, Ralston and Donovan. I imagine something would happen there.
I think Ralston will move on in the summer.
Yeah, I'd say so too, yeah. Left backs.
Been saying that for about a decade now.
Left backs, Kieran Tierney and Sriracha. I think that's probably, if we could get that, I think that would be absolutely dynamite. Centre back, Scales, Trusty, CCV, and I've put CCV a question mark beside him for some reason when I did this originally. I think it's maybe just how injured he is. Murray and Arthur. Midfield, McGregor, McCowan, Negrin, Engels and Oxlade-Chamberlain. And then up front, Jota, Tunekde, Osmond and Yang.
So bad.
That's.
I think that we're going to cash in on Negrin in the summer.
I think they probably will as well.
Because he got another assist for the Swedish team the other night.
He did, yeah.
And
they seem to be utilising him a lot better than we are in terms of positionally.
Yeah, I think that someone will just look at his underlying stats and they'll just snap him up. And I think he could flourish in like a well-functioning team or win.
He's got 19 goals with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and his assists and all that. And I think that you'll be able. Look at those names. Who can you sell there for 15, 20 million pounds? Absolutely no one. But you might find that he actually does fit that mould. And even if you got 10, 12, 15,
that pays for 8 of our players that we're bringing in.
It's a crazy upsell on what you bought him in for from a season when he's not even been that good. So
yeah, I mean, looking at that squad, right? Kieran Tierney, Sriracha, I think both stay fit. Both kind of coming and going. I think that's probably terrific.
Can you do it the midfield again, please?
So this is what I was going to get to. The midfield, central midfield, McGregor, McCowan, Negrin, Engels and Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Fucking hell, it's so bad.
Boud, what are the chances that Engels, another bid comes in for? Do you think there'll be another bid for Engels, or do you think that bid was a sort of Premier League team who are a bit of a basket case, who were like, who's a young kind of player with decent stats?
I think we'll get another bid in the summer. I don't know.
It won't be that price,
Did they jump to 18 then 25?
25, I think it was like 26 or something was the last bid. Yeah.
So I'm not confident we'll get that. I think that was desperation money, but I think we will get another offer in for him.
Barry, just looking at the forwards, like obviously, Jota, Tunekde, Osmond and Yang. Jota not coming back. We don't know what the state of play is in terms of how he comes back. Obviously, we've got, as Celtic players, you get Balakwisha and you've got Palma. You'd imagine Palma will definitely go. Balakwisha, they'll probably stick on loan somewhere. That'll be one of those loans that keeps kind of ticking over. He'll have like 4 or 5 different positions. But that's really... Osmond is a striker I think we're all very excited about and keen on, but not to be leading the line next season.
No, absolutely not. If he was your third one that you were kind of carrying and giving minutes in the cup and stuff to, then fair enough. But yeah, it's a terrifying list.
Do you think that's what... for me, I think that's why they'll give James Forrest a contract. Because they'll be like, oh my God.
It just kind of brings home the size of the deal, the size of the amount of deals that we're going to have to do in the summer, and it's terrifying because I really don't think that we have that in us. How often have we spoke about we can only seem to do one deal at a time, and that's whether it's in or out, never mind trying to bring in upwards of... McGowan said 12, didn't he?
Yeah.
Even trying to get 7 or 8 is going to be difficult for us, so I think some people maybe aren't appreciating how huge the summer's going to be.
To be fair, just to counter that slightly, I think if you actually look at just on pure numbers, I think we brought in like 11 players this summer, but just the percentage of them that were absolute dross is terrifying. And I also feel like in the big rebuild that you had after the COVID season, think about, you probably got similar numbers, but some of that was, Uragidi and players like that are just
William
coming in. Shaw.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can really afford to just clog up the squad with more dross just for the sake of getting bodies through.
See, what I would say is like the whole exciting aspect of bringing a new manager in the summer. Obviously, we've had fucking 3 managers this season, but like new manager coming in, kind of like when Martin O'Neill came in at first, or when Postecoglou got to that January where he brought in, Daizen Maeda, Rio Hatate. But even when he first came in, he brought in, Kyogo. Yeah, and Kyogo as well. Yep. Like, there's something exciting about that. I just don't want to go into next season with Scales, Trusty, CCV, and Murray.
We need a freshness there. Yeah, like, see the players that you mentioned about Daizen and Hatate for like their own sake. You could argue the same for CCV, Scales as well. They've been here too long, they've had success, but if the season goes the way that we think it might, I go back to that the stink of this season. It needs to, I think, for their sake and for the supporters' sake, we need fresh ideas, and there's no guarantees that the fresh ideas and signings will be good, but I think we have to give it a go because it has gone stale.
You also, with this sort of freshness, you can't allow... The whole problem is, like, Liam Scales, as we've said, not to just like dig in at him all the time, but he's the poster boy for the downsizing of the Celtic team and the quality in it, where you had this player that was 5th or 6th choice that was definitely going out of the club, and they like to sort of continuously give that part of his narrative. And it's like, it's amazing he's here and he's captaining the club, in the last few games.
They say it as if it's a positive. He was almost at the door because he wasn't good enough.
And then in that list of midfielders, you've got a player like Luke McCowan who's going to be clinging on to being a Celtic player for as long as he possibly can, whether that means that he plays a handful of games a season, and the standards have just plummeted. And I don't think that it does you any good to keep players like that of that level when they're clearly not of the appropriate quality level.
I think that's a good point, because you mentioned earlier, or just there, Stu, about the likes of signing sort of squad fillers like Uragidi and Shaw, and I know it didn't really come to pass for them, but guys like Johnny Kenny and Scales to an extent, like, if you buy these guys thinking, they'll just be squad players, but if the squad gets decimated either by a lack of quality in terms of income and selling the best players and not replacing them, it comes to the stage where these guys are front and centre because you've let the squad get so bad. So if you are going to sign squad players, make them really good ones who have potential, make them young so that potential to grow.
The other thing like Cal McGregor will be 33 in June, and Oxley Chamberlain, he's in his 30s. You're talking about guy. I wouldn't describe Luke McCown as someone who's a great runner of a football, like runner with the football, and Boud, that complete lack of sort of athletic dynamism. I can never say that word.
Dynamism.
Could really come back. The lack of it could really come back to haunt us, because the Celtic aren't going to have a conversation with Callum McGregor where they say, "Okay, you're 33 now. We need to think about over the next couple of years." The manager's probably just going to come in and go, "Aye, that's your captain, and that's it." And all these questions just are never raised.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And it is the midfield does lack not just athleticism and stamina and pace, but strength as well. It's not particularly physically imposing.
Yeah, physicality's wild.
Yeah.
Would anyone like me to rap to raise spirits a bit?
We're going to have fun now. We're going to have fun. This is good. We're now at the fun bit of the podcast. We're not going to do that on the feature.
Can you tell the listeners what the feature was?
The other feature, I was just trying to come up with something different. And the other feature was then versus now. And I took the 2021 squad that we all hated versus this current squad. And I took time to make person versus person.
Let's do it really rapid fire so that we don't have to think about the players and what they did.
Okay.
And just so that we can get like a tick box and just go right.
Do you know what? I won't do them all because there's too many, but I'll pick a couple. Okay, so here's one.
And we won't all give one, just move on to the next one so that we can fire through them because we cannot be talking about John Joe Kenny.
Okay, quickly, right?
Yeah.
Vasilius Barkas or Kasper Schmeichel?
Oh my god, Kasper Schmeichel with one arm.
Chris Boud.
Yes, me.
Shane Duffy or Austin Trusty?
Oh, Trusty.
Okay. Barry. Scott Brown or Callum McGregor?
Oof. McGregor.
Okay.
This season's squad's great.
Stuart. Let me see what I'm trying to pick quiz. Okay, so
Go for a striker.
Odson Edward or Dyson Maeda?
Odson Edward. I think even in that season his numbers are much better.
His
Even
numbers
though
are
he
insane.
was chucked it, as is often said, he's still got over 20 goals.
Let me just quickly, I've got all the stuff in a spreadsheet here. I'll just get it up for you now. Okay. It's I think he got something like 30 odd goals. Silly goals, Odson Edward. Okay, so Odson Edward. Chris Boud, James Forrest or James Forrest?
That's a tough one. James Forrest.
Okay, that's fine. We'll take that. Let me see another one.
Oh no.
Ryan Christie or Sebastian Denekti?
Christie.
Yep.
It's probably Christie.
It is probably Christie. Okay.
Christie clear.
David Turnbull or Benjamin Negrin?
Oh, come on.
That's difficult. It's got to be Negrin just for his output.
Aye.
But I always think that from Ange's first season that David Turnbull would probably still do a turn for this Celtic TV now. I really would.
Boud, Diego Laxalt or Mario Saraki?
Oh, Saraki.
Marcello.
Okay. Jeremy Frimpong or Alistair Johnson? They both actually played the same amount of games.
That's a difficult one because it is that season.
Frimpong left in January.
That's right. He scored in the thing, didn't he? Yeah, he set up in that goal in the he scored in the San Siro, didn't he? I think. I'll go AJ.
AJ, okay. We'll do one more. Greg Taylor or Kieran Tierney?
Kieran Tierney.
Cool. There was other ones. Christopher Jullien versus Liam Scales.
That's a tough one.
No, it's not. Really isn't.
Stephen Welsh versus Dane Murray.
What about Albion Ayeti versus...
Albion Ayeti, I've got Kelechi and Acho.
Any of them?
Oh, God.
Oh,
Kelechi.
oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
just...
Probably.
Who have you got matching up against Sorrow?
Sorrow is against Arne Engels.
Yeah.
Engels.
Aye.
Oliver and Cham versus Rio Hatate.
Two dying stars.
Callum McGregor versus Luke McCowan. As in Callum McGregor from them.
Yeah.
Mikey Johnson versus Yang.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
One final one. Stuart Duggan. Mohamed El Yunusi versus Johnny Kenny.
Johnny Kenny all day.
Yeah. Cool. There was more there, but yeah, we'll just leave it. Ewan Henderson versus Shinny Yamada. No one gives a fuck.
I guess it could be worse. Is that what we're learning? Who knows?
Yeah, it could be worse. Right,
Some of it could be worse.
At least you know that you can go to the pub and stuff like that watching this shite.
Aye, okay. Australia.
It's not bad.
A couple of fun things. Okay. So, right. A couple of fun things. I just repeated what I've said there, haven't I?
So hammering home that this is fun.
Yeah, so if you're a subscriber, you will know about House of Tims, which is a podcast series that is developed by Claire Wilde, and it's basically we've bumped House of Games and just made them Celtic orientated. So Claire's went to the trouble of doing a couple of rounds for me for today. So the first round, shall we do a buzzer, do you think?
Sure.
Would you be happy with a buzzer, or do you want one each? In fact, you know what? There's 6 questions for this round, so I'll give you 2 each.
Okay.
I'll just go around the table, right, and I'll keep score,
nice.
right? Okay. Stu, Boud, Barry. Okay. So this one is Boud looks terrified. Look.
I'm trying to remember the rules again.
Right. So
Some
this
sort of
there's-
rhyming
so
thing or
there's-
something.
There's 3 different rounds we've got, right? So this one is called Rhyme Time.
Oh.
You'll get 2 clues. The answers will rhyme with each other.
Sure.
Only buzz in, blah, blah, blah. So we'll do one each, right? So they rhyme, okay? So you'll know the answer's correct because they rhyme.
Have you got an example?
I don't have an example here.
It would be like...
Do you know the first one? I think the first one's fairly easy. Who wants the first one?
Me.
Okay, you want it because
No, I'll give it to Barry.
Barry. Okay, Barry, question 1, right? Okay, here we go. Rhyme time. So they both rhyme.
Okay.
Question 1. Scottish international who scored 522 goals for Celtic between 1922 and 1938, and a children's TV show about a fictional small island community off the west of Scotland.
Can I buzz in?
No. I think we said... You both know it, right?
Yep.
I know it.
Jimmy McGrory, Ballamore.
There we go!
To be
Ding,
fair,
ding, ding,
I was
ding,
going to say
ding.
Jack and Ori, so I would have got that wrong because I wasn't thinking.
Oh, you
Stuart.
should have
There you
pissed
go.
him.
Chris Boud. Scottish-Canadian businessman who acquired a 51% share in Celtic FC in 1994. Look, it was
Yes.
like, I know it. Yes! The second question. A bronzing skincare product that makes it look as if you have spent time in the sun.
Fergus McCann fake tan.
Correct! Well done, Boud. Okay, Stuart Dugan. What is it? Is it offensive?
No,
Oh,
yeah. I would have went with something else, but
That's pretty good. Okay, Stu. Question 3. You're up, Stu. Right.
Nervous.
Okay. Question 1. Part 1. Lovable dog who's been the mascot at Celtic Park since 1998, and a 2002 debut single from Girls Aloud.
Oh, I know it.
Who played the Huddle Hound Sound of the Underground?
Correct. Very good.
It's the Who Pay the Huddle Hound. Why don't they get that going?
Okay.
Right, on fellow boost.
Question 4 for Barry.
Oofed.
So this is Barry's second question. Okay. Professional footballer who spent his entire career with Celtic, making his senior debut in 1982 and then retiring in 1997. Australian TV soap opera set in Summer Bay that first aired in 1988.
Paul McStay, Home and Away.
Beautiful. That's Barry. Yeah, that's his full allocation.
Yeah.
Chris Boud. Ooh, okay.
No.
You should get it.
Yeah.
Question 5.
Mm-hmm.
The National Stadium of Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Children's song featuring an aquatic family popularised in 2016 by Korean brand Pinkfong.
Repeat that second part, sorry.
Okay, so National Stadium of Scotland is the first part, and the second part is children's song featuring an aquatic family popularised in 2016. He's doing the dance like.
Try to figure out the first part of his name. Hampden Park. That's something shark.
I'm going to need the full answer, haven't I?
Dancing
Try and
shark.
sing the song.
Don't do it.
No.
Make it-
Hamden Park.
I'm going to have to push you on time.
No.
It's Hampden Park Baby Shark.
Baby shark.
Okay, so unfortunately, Boud, you don't get your full allocation. Stuart Dugan. Question 6. Here we
So
go.
that I win.
The oldest football club magazine in the UK and South African cleric known for his work as an anti-apartheid and human rights activist. You know about it?
I don't.
Oh, maybe. I might not.
Maybe Shark.
Formations. Think
Did you
formations.
say Football Magazine?
The oldest football club magazine in the UK.
Club Magazine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Celtic View, Desmond Tutu.
There we go. We got there in the end. Great stuff.
I
Lovely.
was thinking about shooting goals.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Maybe that's why the
442 Desmond Tutu.
Oh, that yeah.
Doesn't really rhyme, but
Okay, so this one, right, let me see. There are, with this one, we have, okay, we've got a couple of other ones. Right, we got Answer Smash, which is what we'll finish on. Yeah. This one's just a fun one. So there's 4 questions, so we'll do one each. In fact, you know what? Let's make this one a buzz-in round. Okay. So...
Did you say her name?
Yeah.
what is the...
I'll tell you the spin. It's called You Spell Terrible. So you have to get full points. So you'll get half a point for getting the answer right, and you'll get half a point if you spell the answer correctly.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Right?
Do you have any spare pens?
There's a bit. Stuart's got a pen.
That's not a spare pen.
You can have my pen. Okay.
Then Barry doesn't have one. That's unfair.
Do you want a pen?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Probably shouldn't be writing them down, though, should we?
Actually, yeah, you shouldn't be writing them down.
Yeah, get the pens to fuck.
Get the pens to fuck, right. Okay. In fact, you know what we'll do, right? You get half a point for the question, and then when it comes to the spelling, if you don't get it, someone else buzz in.
Sure.
Okay?
Barry.
Question 1.
Spell all that you are.
Can I get a bit of decorum, please?
Sorry.
So just say your name. Question 1. Who scored the winner in the 1995 Scottish Cup final?
Barry. Pierre Van Hooydonk.
Okay, so you get half a point. That's fine. Now you have
spelling his full name?
His
second name?
Do you know what? We'll give you the second name, right?
VAN.
Correct.
HOOIJKD.
VAN.
You have to say your name.
Stuart.
What?
Space. VAN space HOOJ.
Boud, do you want to go?
That's definitely right.
You had it right up into the...
Yeah.
VAN.
Okay.
HOO.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I know what I did wrong.
No, I don't know what you did wrong.
It's not great radio.
IJ.
Yep, you're right, correct.
D.
Yep.
Bring it home.
Is it just ONK?
Yeah, there you go.
Did I do the I and the J the wrong way?
Yeah, you did that. Yeah, okay. Good one. Okay.
Damn it, that stupid K.
Okay, question number 2, and again, just say your name. For half a point, what Central American player did Celtic sign after the 2010 World Cup?
Barry. Efren Juarez.
Can you repeat the
I know
question?
that is, damn it.
2010.
Yes. What Central American player did Celtic sign after the 2010 World Cup? You can't remember it.
Stuart. Is it Giri?
It is, yeah, absolutely. You have to. So that's a half a point to Stuart.
Damn it.
Boud, you were doing. You were
Very different. I was in that.
Okay.
double Z. What's this one?
IZA. Oh, sorry, Barry. IZAGUIRRE.
Correct. Very good, Barry. Very, very good indeed. Okay. Let's see. Question number 3. Against which team did James Forrest score a stoppage time goal?
Barry.
Okay.
Shakhtar Karagandhi.
Okay. You have to spell the whole thing, though.
Oh, Jesus. SHAKHTR.
Stuart. Shakhtar. SHAKHTAR.
Oh, there's other...
SHAKTAR.
It's SHAKTER.
Shakhtar.
Shakhtar. That's a lot of nonsense.
Karagandhi. KARAGANDY.
So it's a different Shakhtar spelling from the next.
As indeed, yeah.
All this spelling is reminding me of watching Celtic Dundee United. It's like...
Okay, question 4. This is the final one, and you spell terrible. Who was appointed Celtic manager from Yokohama Mariners in
Boud. Ange Postecoglou.
Correct. You only have to spell his surname, will do, because we know how to spell Ange.
POST.
Correct.
E.
Correct.
COG.
Yes.
L.
I don't know how you're...
I've just got it in my head that it could be U.
Oh, damn it.
POSTECOGLOU.
Correct.
Well done.
Well done. Okay. So the scores are currently Barry has 3.5, Stuart has 3, and Boud has 2.
Something to play for.
So we're going to
the title
go.
race?
Yes. So we're just going to make
Thanks, Hans.
these ones are. This is answer smash, and it's basically smashing two answers together.
Yeah.
It's very very simple. Let's just get to it. Okay. So I'm going to read out both parts of the question.
Is this a buzz in?
This is a buzz in. We'll do buzz in again. Okay. Okay. First part. Midfielder who joined Celtic in August 2020 and left to join Cardiff City, and the middle of a dartboard.
Barry. Bullseye.
Stuart.
Boud.
Stuart. I said Stuart.
Turnbull, sorry.
Aye, okay.
Turn Bullseye. David Turn Bullseye.
Damn,
Correct.
that's
Yes. There we go.
stupid idiot.
Yes, you are, Barry. Feel shame.
You got that so wrong. Okay. Next one. Right back who has the nickname The Bricky and the mascot of Kellogg's Frosties since
Boud. Wait a minute. What?
Stuart. If you can't get it.
Ralston Tony the Tiger?
No.
Stuart. Anthony Rouse Tony the Tiger.
Correct. That's for Stuart.
I didn't hear the Frosties. I was thinking of the cockerel from Kellogg's. Tony the Cock.
Okay, here we go. Recently retired chairman at Celtic, an American jazz singer sometimes referred to as the First Lady.
Stuart. Peter Lawella Fitzgerald.
Correct.
Ah, damn. She's running away with it here.
She's running away with it here at this point. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What?
Barry's just like appalled that you've not done tally marks.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's fine. That's fine. There we go. There we go.
Just
Have a teacher.
You've never done
Fine.
hard time.
So I've never done hard time. I'm, never been caught by the big boss man. Okay. Swedish international who played for Celtic between 2012 and 2019. Type of shelter built of snow.
Stuart.
Oh,
Michael Lusteglu.
Yes.
It's good. It's good.
Good. It's correct.
I really needed that. Thanks.
Okay.
you've smashed this. You've smashed this.
Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Oh, I thought we were done. Sorry.
Right, wrap this up.
No,
That points on the tarmac.
sorry. Okay, we can stop if you like.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm
Okay.
only joking. Just because I'm losing.
Former Celtic TV presenter who had a baby with Craig Gordon. DC Comics character who is a frequent accomplice.
Boud. Summer Hal Jordan.
Harold Jordan. Hal
Jordan.
Jordan.
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
No,
DC.
that's not true.
What was, I didn't.
I didn't hear the full question, but I heard DC.
I'll read it again. Former Celtic TV presenter who has had a baby with Craig Gordon. DC Comics character who is a frequent accomplice and lover of the Joker.
Boud.
Summer. Oh, sorry.
Summer Harley Quinn.
Correct, Boud. There we go. Okay. Right.
That was a part of the clue that was missing, but we'll talk about it later.
How?
Doesn't matter. We don't need to get into Craig.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I was going to add that, but
What
I
his
thought,
status was.
Okay, here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Manager of Celtic in the 98-99 season, third largest city in North America with an estimated population of nearly 4 million people.
I know the first part, but I can't think.
Say that again, sorry. Repeat
Manager
the
of Celtic in the 98-99 season.
Stuart. Joseph Van Los Angeles.
Correct.
Ah,
Right there.
this is a.
You got to think of the last bit of the first one, Barry, and then the first bit of the second one, mate. That's how you do it.
I'm not good at this.
Celtic Ultra Group formed in 2006 who reside in the North Curve section of Celtic Park. Singer who rose to fame with her breakout album 19.
Stuart. The Green Brig. Wait.
Gadel?
Yeah, that's very hard because it's not phonetic.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Green Brigadelle. You wouldn't say it that way, so that one doesn't actually work.
Okay, well, pick it up weekly.
I absolutely will.
The Green Brigadelle. Yeah, we'll give you the point anyway because you got it right.
Yeah, it's not
okay. Celtic FC.
She's just ruined the whole thing. All that effort. It was going great. And
Celtic FC training ground located at the foot of the Campsie Hills. Song recorded by The Jam, which debuted at number...
Stuart.
Lennox Town Called Malice.
Correct.
Nice.
Well done.
She's back. She's pulled it back, guys.
Okay, final one.
It's actually technically a town called Malice.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Take out weekly.
Yeah, sorry. I retract that she's back.
Last one. Former Spanish Celtic FC women manager appointed in 2020. The collection of 8 planets and their moons in orbit around the sun.
What's that fella's name?
It was a while ago, to be fair.
Yeah, but we did chant it quite a lot, which is a shame.
Oh, I'm close with that. Nah, I can't remember his name. It's really bad.
Boud? Just in a hand thing. I'll tell you.
Try to jazz it into my head.
It was Fran Alon's solar system.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Great stuff.
Anti solar system in my head. Played for Arsenal.
But Stuart get 5, 6, 7, 8.
Invented a new.
It'd be easier to count with those tallies, mate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Boud 3, Barry 4.5. So, Stuart ran away with it. That was a bit of fun.
That's quite good. And then before the last round, I said Bagsy, not Huns. So in this, if this was the title race, Celtic will run away with it. We'll just win the last round, the split, and we'll win the league.
Great stuff. Coming up on the Cynic, we've got a weekend update tomorrow with myself and Scott Fleming looking ahead to the weekend game.
Send Scott my best.
Yes, of course, yes. Scott is a frequent contributor to the Cynic Weekly. So myself and Scott will look over on any news and look ahead to the Dundee game. Then on Sunday, we'll have a reaction to the Dundee game itself. We've got reactions to every single Celtic game that happens, so check that out. Check out thecynic.co.
Do we have to do the ones at the end? Is that...
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah. Aye, we'll have a few pints, it'll be a good laugh. But check out thecynic.co for all of your Celtic podcast needs. 33 podcasts a month. And also we're on Patreon as well. It's been a joy. Barry, you're going on a wee holiday, so we won't see you next week.
Yes, hopefully we'll get some positive results. Or a positive result next week to talk about, but I wish you well, guys, and hope everyone has a lovely Easter.
Yes, have a lovely Easter, have a lovely holiday.
Thank you.
Bowdy, we'll see you on Sunday. We're going to watch the game together, do the reaction, so that'll be fun.
Yep, can't wait for Celtic to turn it round and start it all again.
We're back. We're back.
The champs are coming for them.
Yes. Stuart Duggan, hope you have a nice Easter, and if you're on the south side, we're going for a pint on Sunday, so
Might well do.
Bang along.
Might well do. Thanks very much. Hope you have a lovely holiday, Barry.
Thank you very much.
And we'll speak to you down the road.
Lovely stuff. Fuck up. That's my bit. From Barry Gallagher, from Chris Boud, from Stuart Duggan, from myself, Chris Gallagher, this has been the Cynic Weekly. An arsehole. And we'll speak to you down the road. Prick.